Alright, so in the previous video we created an ERD and we tried to solve the chat issue that we had. Now what we're going to do, we're going to create a database using the same ERD that we created. And then obviously the intention being that we're going to add, what is this? We want to start to make use of the application. So now we're going to start to create the database. So to do that, I'm going to open XAMPP. Oh, it's already running. My pod's already running. Everything is fine. Don't need to do that again. So you're gonna click start, and then you're gonna get it to run. So I'll just go to MySQLadmin. Let's keep you be the only one that's running. All right, okay. So to do this, then obviously, since it's a database that we're creating, I'm going to create a new database. I'm going to come to databases. Then I'm going to create a new database. I'm going to call it chat database. Then I'm going to create it. Database has been created. The chat database is here. Now we can start to create the first thing, which is a table. So now when we look over this side, the first table is a user table because a user is the one that sends a message. As you can see here, the dependency is such that the user comes first and then the message after. A message cannot exist without a user. We know this because on the message table, the foreign key is the sender and the recipient, which then links us back to the user table. Okay, cool. So we're gonna start with the user. Okay, cool. How many attributes do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So then we can stick to this number 4 columns here. Okay, cool. Let's see how it looks now. So the first thing that we see is that a user ID is an int. So we're gonna say user ID. Okay, it's an integer, fine. It's also primary key. So here we're gonna say if we say auto increment, then it automatically makes it a primary key. The next thing that we have is the name. For the sake of clarity, we'll call it a first name. Then we also have surname. I'm gonna make this a varchar. Okay, no need to specify a number of values. Varchar. So the length we'll just say it's 45. Any default value that we have, nah, it's fine. No need to add a default value. Can this be null? No, they cannot be null because we want to know the name at least of whom the message comes from. Right, let's see. And then there's also contacts. Contact, these are the phone numbers that the person is going to enter. So as a varchar, it's 10. Oh no, it should be a character because they cannot be less than 10. A varchar simply means that it can be, a variable character. It can be any number of characters as long as it's at least more than 1. So I'm going to make it a character which says 10. It cannot be less than 10. It cannot be more than 10. Now, a contact, to make it more realistic, I will say a contact needs to be unique. That's the one thing that we can do about it. Okay, so a contact needs to be unique. Okay, so a contact needs to be unique. The reason why I say this is because we need to know whom you send the phone number to. This can be some kind of an identifier because if I'm receiving messages from a person, we can even make it an ID. What is this? A primary key, but then I prefer to make it a unique thing here. What is this? A unique value. Yeah, I can make it a primary key if I want to. A primary by it also means it's unique, so it's a primary key. If it's a primary key, then it means we can link people using contacts instead of user ID. That's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna save this. Cool, the table is created, and then now I'm gonna create a second table. I'm just gonna come back to here, chat database, and then I'm gonna create a new table. The name of the table is gonna call message, and the table has one sender, recipient, text, time, message ID. So there's a total of 5 attributes or columns. Create. Okay, so what are the columns? First column is message ID. This uniquely identifies all the messages. I'm going to make it an auto increment and therefore a primary key. The second thing that we have is the time. And what data type is this? We can say it's a timestamp. Great. Can this be null? No, it can't be null. So it's fine. Now what else is there? So we have the text. The text, the data type of text, I'm going to call it text because I can send you a very long message. So I don't want to limit to 255 characters or digits or characters. Yeah, I'll say that. Recipient. Recipient. Now who's the recipient? The recipient, I'll say is an integer because I'll say the recipient, I'll link the recipient with the user ID. So we also said this is a primary key as well for the reason that we said. And then we said it's not a varchar, it's just a character with 10 characters. Recipient, I think we can link everything with the user ID. It's fine, we can still have the contact be there. Then we also have the sender being there. These two will be our foreign keys. We'll leave them like that. And then I'm going to save. Cool. Now with this being done, we can now move on to the next step, creating a relational view, creating a relationship. Now the relationship here is that the sender, the user can send a message and a user can receive a message. That's pretty much what I wanted to say here. Okay, so now what are these things? We can say, we can add a constraint. We can add 2 constraints since we have constraints here. So the first one is that it says a foreign key sender, foreign key sender, which is from the user in the message table. Now on delete, we can restrict it so that it doesn't delete. And what is the column here? So let's start. The column, the foreign key is the sender, and it's from the user table, and it's the user ID. Another foreign key is the receiver. Oops. Hey elders.
Hello, good evening, Brother Shika. Sorry, we are late. We are now in front of your gate.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm coming.
Sorry, I've been hanging out with a previous lesson.
Okay, cheers. Restrict recipient from the message table, from the user table, which is the user ID. And now once we save this, then the relationship has been created. I'm not gonna view it now, but if we say this, okay, I can just view it now. The designer shows us that a user has two relationships with the message table. Then we're gonna leave it here. So next thing we'll do, we'll test it and see if it works or not. If it doesn't work, then the relationship is wrong. Okay, cheers everyone, bye.